What is above reflects what is below. The state of our inner world reflects in our external reality. The ancient wisdom found in the Emerald Tablet encourages us to delve deeper than surface appearances. It teaches us that the micro and macro are interconnected, representing two facets of a singular cosmic reality. The intelligence that creates the stars is also responsible for forming the atoms within our bodies. Today, we will delve into the intricacies of this universal law and examine its relationship with recent scientific advancements, alongside the timeless insights of mystics and philosophers from history. We will explore how this principle can be integrated into our lives to enhance our completeness and awareness as individuals. The principle of correspondence states that reality, in all its dimensions, is organized in a fractal structure. This intriguing principle indicates that all elements in the universe are linked, with each component mirroring the entirety. For instance, the cells within our bodies possess the identical genetic code that makes up the whole organism, and each cell, in a certain sense, represents a small version of the body. In a similar manner, the movement of galaxies can be compared to the movement of atoms and electrons within their nuclei. This observation suggests that the fundamental laws governing the universe remain consistent, whether we are examining phenomena on an astronomical scale or a microscopic one. The law of correspondence encourages us to perceive the universe as a vast reflection of ourselves. To gain a deeper understanding of reality, it is essential to begin by observing your own thoughts and actions. Just as the larger systems influence the smaller ones, our internal state has an impact on the environment surrounding us. And here we discover an important principle. When we change our inner selves, we also bring about change in the external world. From a spiritual perspective, the phrase, "as above, so below," guides us toward a deep comprehension of the interconnectedness of all. Jesus, in his wisdom, stated, "The kingdom of God is within you," as noted in Luke 17:21. Just as the universe encompasses the potential for all things, humanity, within its own inner world, carries the essence of the divine. The human mind serves a dual role. It acts as both an observer and a product of the universe. Just as every atom contains the essence of the entire universe, humanity serves as a reflection of the whole cosmos. The philosophy attributed to Jesus suggests that every individual represents a microcosm, a small universe that, when developed, aligns and resonates with the larger universe. This highlights the importance and duty we have in nurturing our own minds, thoughts, and emotions. In this way, we demonstrate our concern for the world around us. Plotinus, a notable philosopher, proposed that an individual's self-knowledge is directly linked to their understanding of the universe and the mysteries that extend beyond. This concept aligns with the profound principle that, to truly comprehend the universe, we must first delve into the universe that resides within our. Spiritual philosophy emphasizes that our inner state, including our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, serves as a lens through which we interpret the external. When we cultivate inner peace, we perceive the world through a lens of tranquility. When we find ourselves in conflict, it can feel as though the world around us is filled with hostility and dissonance. This understanding demonstrates that the barriers we perceive between ourselves and others, or between humanity and the universe, are indeed illusions. In reality, we are components of a larger system, and the events occurring within us are in constant interaction with those happening outside. Thus, by altering our inner universe, we modify our relationship with the outer universe. For mystics, understanding the concept of "as above, so below" involves recognizing that everything present in the universe also exists in potential within ourselves. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist and scholar of symbols, is frequently referenced in nearly every video on this channel. He explains that the personal unconscious of individuals reflects the collective unconscious, which serves as a reservoir of images, ideas, and archetypes that influence our life experience. Just as the universe is always moving and changing, The inner world of each person is also a lively and balanced system. Through the exploration of this inner universe, individuals uncover various aspects of themselves and establish connections with archetypal forces and universal truths that are integral to the entirety of the universe. Therefore, the spiritual journey represents a return to the cosmic center that resides within each of us. The principle of as above, so below illustrates the connection between the macro and micro. It also indicates a relationship between spirit and matter, existence and action, as well as the inner and outer aspects of our experience. Paracelsus, a prominent figure among alchemists and philosophers of nature, emphasized that the journey to understanding the world begins with self-awareness. For alchemists, achieving self-awareness culminates in a harmonious connection with the entirety of existence. When we change our inner leads such as fear, doubt, and limitations into gold, which represents wisdom, peace, and self-control, we align ourselves with the sacred flow of the universe. This represents the process of alchemy, which involves the harmonization of what exists above with what exists below, recognizing the unity of matter and spirit. The principle of correspondence encourages us to view the universe as composed of various layers and realities that mirror each other. This indicates that there is a significant connection among various planes of existence, where events occurring at one level of reality are mirrored, echoed, or corresponded at other. In discussing the relationship between spirit and matter, the second Hermetic law illustrates that these two concepts, while appearing to be opposites, are in fact reflections of the same fundamental reality. The material world we encounter serves as a reflection of the forces, ideas, and laws that function on the spiritual plane. In this way, matter can be seen as akin to a shadow or manifestation of the laws and subtle energies of spirit. The principle of correspondence states that spirit serves as the original plane or cause from which all ideas and energies emerge. Matter serves as a reflection of its origin, molded by the laws and unseen patterns of spirit. Consider spirit to be the origin, while matter represents the image that is cast from this origin. Matter exists solely as a result of the presence and movement of this latent spiritual energy. Therefore, the physical world is shaped by the unseen energies of the spiritual realm, similar to how a statue is created from a concept. In a similar manner, any transformation or change we desire to observe in matter initiates primarily at the spiritual level, whether it be through intention, vision, or thought. A good way to grasp this relationship is by looking at nature itself. Think about DNA, which is not visible to us without special tools, but holds all the essential information needed to develop a complex living. The connection between DNA and the physical body illustrates how spirit serves as the source of information and energy, while matter represents the manifestation of this essence. When we align our thoughts and intentions with spiritual principles, we have the ability to influence and shape the material world in accordance with our desire. However, this does not imply that one should control or manipulate physical reality. Rather, it involves a process of alignment. When we comprehend that matter is simply a representation of spirit, we come to recognize that significant changes take place when we engage directly with the spiritual realm, specifically through our intention, thoughts, and belief. For instance, an individual seeking prosperity might recognize that this abundance originates in the spirit, shaped by a mindset that fosters beliefs about self-worth, confidence, and gratitude. By fostering these mental and psychological patterns, the manifestations in the material world will undoubtedly emerge, even if they do so gradually and subtly. Life presents a continuous interplay between spirit and matter. The objective is not to dismiss one aspect in favor of the other, but rather to acknowledge and find balance between them. True alchemy involves the integration of the spiritual realm with our physical life. It is essential to understand that every facet of our physical existence mirrors a spiritual reality, and that each spiritual experience can manifest in the material world. The search for meaning and purpose, which is often connected to the spiritual realm, should be reflected in our everyday actions and experiences. By engaging in practices of self-awareness, like meditation and introspection, we are not only nurturing our spirit but also establishing a stronger foundation for a fulfilling, harmonious, and meaningful material. Ultimately, the principle of correspondence teaches us that the perceived opposition between spirit and matter is, at its core, an illusion stemming from our limited perception. Both represent manifestations of the same universal truth. Just as light passing through a prism separates into various colors, spirit expresses itself in matter while retaining its fundamental. By grasping this concept, we can achieve a deep sense of spiritual freedom. It becomes clear that by fully engaging with the material world and honoring physical existence, we are simultaneously expressing our spiritual essence. The aim of our spiritual journey is not to flee from the material world, but to rise above it, recognizing it as a manifestation of the spirit in action. The Hermetic principle, often expressed as above, so below, extends beyond being just a philosophical or mystical idea. The phenomena of nature clearly demonstrate this point in an objective manner. As we examine the natural world, we notice that the same structures and patterns of activity present on a small scale are echoed on larger dimensions. The relationship between the micro and the macro is more than merely symbolic. It is embedded in the essential principles that dictate the behavior of matter and energy. A notable example of the concept of as above, so below in nature can be observed in the phenomenon of fractals. Fractals are fascinating shapes that exhibit repetition at various scales, and they can be found in both small objects and large structures. Natural geometry serves as evidence that similar patterns organize the universe in its vastness, and these patterns can also be observed in the smallest details of the natural world. For instance, one can observe that the spiral symmetry of a nautilus shell bears a resemblance to the shape of a spiral galaxy. The Fibonacci sequence, which governs the growth of a petal, is also relevant to the structure of galaxy arms. The principle of as above, so below is illustrated through the repetition of patterns, demonstrating that nature adheres to a universal order. Sacred geometry is a mathematical organization that is recognized for its significance. It serves as a language of the universe, structuring various elements, including the movement of subatomic particles, the growth cycles of plants, and the formation of star systems. Nature operates through interconnected cycles, ranging from the tiniest organisms to the vastest ecosystem. The cycle of life, which includes birth, growth, death, and rebirth, serves as one of the most universal examples we can observe. Just as the seasons change in an eternal cycle, all living beings undergo a similar cycle throughout their lives. In the human body, the circulatory system serves as a small-scale representation of the Earth's hydrological system. Just as rivers flow to the ocean, blood circulates to the heart, and from there it travels throughout the body, providing nourishment and establishing connections among all parts. Both demonstrate a comparable principle of flow and return, illustrating that the macro, Earth, and the micro, humans, are structured by the same fundamental intelligence. This relationship between the small and the large is evident in the patterns of sleep and wakefulness, the rhythms of cellular activity, and the movement of. This suggests that the principle of correspondence is a key element in all living processes. An illustrative example of the principle of as above, so below can be observed in the arrangement of atoms within solar system. The nucleus of an atom is akin to the sun at the center of a planetary system, with electrons orbiting around it much like planets do in their respective orbit. Some scientists and mystics have observed this similarity and proposed that the fundamental structure of the universe could be holographic, with patterns that repeat at both subatomic and cosmic scales. This comparison illustrates a structured universe, in which the micro and macro levels mirror one another. Pythagoras, a notable philosopher and mathematician, held the belief that numbers serve as the foundation of all. He proposed that reality is organized according to mathematical and geometric principles, which are relevant to both the immense expanses of galaxies and the tiniest particle. In the study of consciousness, scientists such as David Bohm, a physicist who worked alongside Albert Einstein, introduced the concept of holomorphism. Bohm proposed that reality should not be viewed as a collection of separate components. Instead, it is an indivisible whole, where the parts are interconnected and serve as reflections of a larger, unified reality, similar to the concept of a hologram. To put it another way, every component of the universe encompasses the entirety, illustrating the concept that events occurring at one level of reality influence other levels. Benoit Mandelbrot, a prominent mathematician of the last century, made significant contributions by discovering fractals. He demonstrated that these patterns are a fundamental characteristic found in various systems. When we examine the universe through this fractal lens, we observe that each small segment appears to mirror a smaller scale representation of the entire. Therefore, the phrase "as above, so below" transcends mere philosophical metaphor and manifests as an observable phenomenon in the natural world. The law of correspondence illustrates that the external world or outcomes, health, and physical appearance affects our inner world, which encompasses our beliefs, intentions, and most importantly, our daily habit. Each small action we engage in reflects our thoughts, and as these actions accumulate, they form a concrete and distinct reality. Similar to how a stone tossed into a pond generates ripples that extend outward, our habits and thought patterns influence and mold our bodies and lives. To put it another way, our physical, emotional, and financial well-being mirrors what we consistently cultivate inside ourselves. Every aspect of our lives reflects our beliefs, desires, and the practices we engage in each day. A well-disciplined mind serves as an excellent foundation for cultivating healthy and consistent habits. A person who possesses a disciplined mindset and has clear purposes and goals demonstrates this inner order through their physical presence. Mental discipline manifests through particular behaviors, such as maintaining consistent meal times, engaging in regular physical activity, and adopting routines that promote and enhance the well-being of the body. Consequently, the body serves as a reflection of a well-organized mind, exhibiting health, strength, and balance. On the other hand, a mind that lacks discipline is prone to distractions and struggles with prioritization, often leading to the development of detrimental habits. This kind of thinking can manifest in a body that exhibits signs of disorder, excess weight, persistent fatigue, and various health conditions. In the absence of internal discipline, individuals often gravitate towards immediate sources of comfort such as processed foods, excessive inactivity, and insufficient sleep. While these choices may offer temporary relief, they ultimately contribute to a decline in both physical and emotional well-being over time. Think about an individual who often puts things off, postpones physical activity, and shows little concern for the nutritional value of their meal. This individual exhibits signs of a mental disorder as manifested in their physical. Experiencing being overweight and persistent fatigue can be seen as signs of a mind that may benefit from greater organization and discipline. As the Greek philosopher Aristotle noted, our identity is shaped by our consistent actions. Excellence is not merely a single action. It is a consistent practice that we cultivate over time. Each small action, when practiced consistently, can lead to significant outcomes. Engaging in self-care, learning, or exercising for just a few minutes each day is akin to planting seeds that will eventually yield a bountiful harvest over time. When we consistently practice small gestures of care and discipline, we can accumulate them over time, leading to significant achievements and a more fulfilling life. From an external perspective, it might appear that a major physical or mental change stems from a singular, dramatic. However, The truth is that such transformations are often the culmination of numerous, small, deliberate actions carried out consistently over time. Deep transformation happens when we recognize that our success or failure is genuinely the result of the small choices we make each day. Engaging in a simple habit, such as drinking plenty of water each day, might appear trivial when considered in isolation. However, after several months, it has the potential to significantly enhance a person's skin, energy levels, and overall health. This illustrates the principle of correspondence in action. Small actions originate from the micro level of our thoughts, manifest in our daily lives, and ultimately lead to significant changes in the broader scope of life. To bring about change in external outcomes, such as those related to the body, health, or relationships, it is essential to begin from within, focusing on the mind and spirit. This illustrates the significance of the principle of correspondence. When we shift our mindset and cultivate beliefs surrounding discipline, self-care, and self-love, we start to see our daily habits mirror these internal transformations. Over time, our external environment adapts to this new internal configuration. Individuals who possess a clear sense of purpose and direction, understanding their goals and aspirations, cultivate habits that align with their journey. A strong body, a clear mind, and an organized life serve as indicators of a soul that has discovered its purpose and demonstrates it through each small act. As we reflect on the principle of correspondence, it becomes clear that this ancient wisdom extends beyond mere theoretical contemplation. This serves as a guide for leading a life that is more harmonious, authentic, and intentional. By applying this principle to our daily lives, we can align our inner experiences with the external environment, which fosters clarity, emotional balance, and overall health. Just as the universe organizes itself into cycles and harmony, we must also strive to find this balance within ourselves. The universe can be understood as a vibrant melody, with each individual representing a note that contributes to the overall harmony. The state of our inner world reflects in our external reality. The thoughts we hold, the beliefs we nurture, and the habits we practice each day are the unseen threads that create the fabric of our reality. The principle of correspondence teaches us that we have the ability to shape our own lives. Consider the clay as a representation of our consciousness, while the chisel symbolizes the actions we take. Just as a mirror reflects the starry sky in the calm waters of a lake, life responds exactly to what we project from our innermost selves. To pursue peace, we must cultivate a sense of serenity. To achieve strength, it is essential that we nurture it through consistent discipline. If we wish to experience love, we should allow it to grow within us, resembling a pure and unextinguishable flame. It is important to understand that what we cultivate within ourselves will be mirrored back to us by the world around us. What is reflected above is also mirrored below. The state of our inner world reflects in our outer experiences. Let us ensure that each choice we make serves as a thoughtful and purposeful prayer, echoing through time and fostering the greatest expression of who we are. I appreciate your follow.